Hello, thank you for staying with us and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Mukoli. Coming up on the program, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal becomes the third All Progressives Congress governor to dump the party for the opposition People's Democratic Party. Youth in Benue State protest against alleged police brutality. And former President Chief Obasanjo flags off the Bayelsa State Health Summit. Thank you for joining us. We begin with politics. It's still a season of defections in the country's political landscape. And the latest politician to cross carpets is Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, who's announced his defection from the APC, All Progressives Congress, to the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. The governor announced his decision in front of his supporters in Sokoto. Also, he took to his social media handle where he wrote, quote, "I have consulted widely, especially with the Sokoto people, and they have confidently assured me of my next political move. I hereby defect officially to official PDP as the People's Democratic Party." The announcement comes after weeks of speculation that Governor Tambuwal was planning to leave the ruling APC. Mr. Tambuwal, therefore, becomes the third APC governor to dump the party in the last 1 week. Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State and Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State had earlier announced their exit from the party. The announcement comes barely 24 hours after the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, also announced he was taking his leave of the APC. Meanwhile, the spokesperson of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, has also resigned his position and left the party. The official announcement of his decision comes a day after his former principal, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the Senate President, and the Kwara State Governor of his home state, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, both dumped the APC to seek their political future in the main opposition party, the PDP. Mr. Abdullahi, whose exit from the APC had been a subject of speculation for some time now, accused the leadership of the party of undermining his office. Mr. Abdullahi says, quote, "In a situation whereby my loyalty is constantly brought into question, my subordinates deployed to subvert my office, and my views constantly second-guessed on the basis of my political affiliation, it has become imperative for me to review my position." End of quote. He says he cannot continue to function as the spokesperson of the APC, whose expectation is incompatible with his personal principles. Meanwhile, 23 out of the 24 members of the Kwara State House of Assembly have also defected to the People's Democratic Party from the All Progressives Congress. Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Ali Ahmed, announced their defection during plenary. Their defection follows that of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, also to the PDP.
Honorable members of the Kwara State House of Assembly wish to put on the record of the House that in exercise of our constitutional right as provided in the proviso to Section 68(1)(g) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, we hereby renounce our membership of the All Progressive Congress and now become members of the People's Democratic Party. 23 out of 24 members of the Kwara State House of Assembly is hereby been defected.
Several youth in Benue State have taken to the streets of Makurdi, the state capital, to protest what they describe as alleged police brutality and partisanship in the ongoing political crisis between Governor Samuel Ortom, Senator George Akume, and leaders of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, in Benue State. The protesting youth, bearing banners with various inscriptions, are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, to withdraw his men from the State Assembly complex to allow the state lawmakers to do their jobs unhindered. Meanwhile, A Makurdi High Court has restrained the 8 All Progressives Congress lawmakers in the Benue State House of Assembly, led by the impeached Speaker, Mr. Terkimbe Kiange, from proceeding with the impeachment of Governor Samuel Ortom, pending the determination of the contempt of court suit filed by the state government and the 2022 PDP members in the House. The vacation judge, Justice Teresa Goche, issued the restraining order while ruling on a motion on contempt of court brought against the Kangie-led APC lawmakers, while also ordering them to appear within 7 days to show cause why they should not be committed to prison for contempt of court by flaunting last week's ex parte restraining them from parading themselves as principal officers of the State Assembly. Counsel to the plaintiffs, Mr. Sebastian, while speaking to journalists after the ruling, says the APC lawmakers are, by the order, restrained from further action of the purported impeachment plot against the Benue State Governor, while also ordering the police to vacate the Assembly complex as earlier ordered.
We were in court to secure some interim orders to restrain the so-called members of the Assembly. I call them so-called because they have been suspended. So to restrain them from acting and progressing with the so-called impeachment process that they claim to have started. The court has restrained them from proceeding with that and also acting in whatever manner. And the court has also restrained the police, the army, the navy, the air force, the civil defense, etc., all the security, the SSS, from continuing to interfere with the administration of legislative duties or functions in the Benue State House of Assembly.
Also at the courts, Justice Stephen Pam of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered the arrest of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, for refusing to appear in court. Justice Pam gave the warrant for his arrest following what he describes as Mr. Mahmoud's absence in court for the 3rd time. According to the judge, the INEC boss was absent in court on July the 5th and July the 10th, in spite of a valid order summoning him to appear before the court. The judge made the order for the INEC boss to appear before it while ruling on a preliminary objection by INEC and its chairman in a contempt proceedings filed by Ejike Ogwebego and Chuks Okoye, chairman and legal advisor of the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State. The trial judge asked the police to effect his arrest immediately. And from there, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been in an interactive session with the leadership of the Nigeria Police on community policing. The meeting was held behind closed doors with the police leadership led by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Mr. Habila Joshak. Addressing State House correspondents after the meeting, Mr. Joshak explained that the Vice President has asked them to look at the plans and strategies for the implementation of the policy.
We've had a presentation and interaction on community policing, plans and strategy in Nigeria. It went very, very well, and His Excellency have also asked us to do some assignment, do some of the, put in some of the strategies and plans so that we can move forward from here. Community policing is not something complicated. It's about carrying the people along and trying to aggregate the opinion of members of the public and asking the public what the police would do in order to provide security for them, bringing them in and nothing more than that.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, a former Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly declares his intention to run for the position of governor of that state. Please stay with us.